Thank you. Thank you. I didn't even know they made numbers this big. I'd like to dedicate this award to my editing chimps and that one guy who commented my name under one of my videos that one time. I mean, I'd really like to know what he meant by that, but I never will, because I could never understand genius on that level. But anyway, I need to make a video now, so get all this shit out of here. Hello. Handsome, beautiful, and charming YouTuber Fish here. While thinking of video ideas, I randomly remembered hearing about Postal 1 in, like, tongues and whispers like 6 years ago. And hearing about it as something that was strange, uncomfortable, and just, like, really fucked up. And you most likely recognize the name Postal from Postal 2. Or at least that's what I'm banking on here. If you don't recognize it, you're probably 5 and misclicked on this video instead of, like, a Coco Melon Fart Compilation 994. And for those who forgot, Postal 2 was just a silly little game about people wanting to ban video games because they were too violent in the early 2000s, which has aged terribly. And isn't funny, and probably wasn't funny at the time either. I was too busy swimming in my dad's nuts to really appreciate the comedy back then, though. But yeah, the first game, it had this, like, I guess mystique surrounding it that I thought was interesting, because, like, from what I had heard, like, what a tonal shift, Jesus. And it was free on Steam, and I thought, you know, why not, might as well. And it was interesting enough for me to make a video on it, so let me, I guess, explain a thing or two.
They cornered students in the cafeteria and the library, where there was nowhere to run.
That is how the game opens, by the way. Obviously, that was a lot quieter than it was actually being blasted into my eardrums. Because I damn near shit all the skin off of my body. That shit was terrifying. But yeah, this game is about mass shootings. Or specifically about being a mass shooter. And the gameplay, which I will very briefly go over, is about shooting the masses. There's not much to talk about here, but the game is a kind of shitty twin-stick shooter in which you just traverse a bunch of hand-drawn levels that kind of look like that one map you probably played on as a kid, to kill anyone with a weapon in their hands. I guess it kind of holds your interest. It gets pretty bland after a while, though, because it really is just the same thing over and over for like 15 levels. The game was also easy, like very easy. In my entire 85 minutes of beating it, I didn't die a single time on the normal difficulty, and I had to use the dedicated suicide button to figure out what the death animation looked like, which was unspectacular. But it may have been my modern-day gamer skills.
No, and yours goes away with
were too much for the game being released in 1997. And anyway, that is all I'm going to comment about gameplay-wise. Now, back to the shit that actually matters. I think the game actually touches on the subject of mass shootings in a somewhat meaningful way. I might be giving it too much credit, but I think the message the game was trying to send was that guns shouldn't be readily available to the public, because it would only take one person going crazy to ruin hundreds of lives. From the people that made Postal 2...
Yeah, well, crack doesn't by itself, you know.
Honestly, fucking shocking. Especially since this game came out 2 years before Columbine happened. And obviously I understand that mass shootings were a thing before the Columbine massacre, and obviously that was more around school shootings, but yeah, I mean, obviously I'm not fucking 35, so I don't know what was happening around the time, but it's still to this day kind of used as the kind of starting point for when mass shootings started to get a lot more coverage news-wise. So the fact that they would already have made a game before that even happened about something like that is kind of crazy. But that in and of itself would not lead me to say that I think it touches on it in a meaningful way. Because in no way does the game ever try to frame your actions as a good thing. It's either treat with neutrality, like the fact that the enemies are referred to as hostiles and the regular people aren't even necessary to kill to get to the next level. Or like active demonization, which is mostly surrounding the main character and his, I guess, ideals and actions. In fact, in the audio menu, his lines literally come under demon, so that's kind of awesome for this analogy, isn't it? I didn't even once hear the general speak though, so it's kind of fucked up that they put that on the menu. But yeah, the main character. He's not given a name in this game. I think in the second game he's referred to as the Postal dude, but as previously stated in the menu, his name is Demon, so I will continue to call him Mr. Demon. I actually quite like how he's written. He has this idea of cleansing the scum of the earth and like the rot and the filth of like society and being like a martyr of some sort of societal revolution, morality wise, I suppose. In the like splash screens between the levels, which is where you get most of his thoughts down, he doesn't ever pin down what he actually thinks is wrong with the world. So Francis Jeremiah Demonson III can pretty easily be paralleled to Travis Bickle from Taxi Driver. And the game as a whole, you could see it very much as inspired by Taxi Driver. And yeah, I did understand Sigma movies. I watched American Psycho, Fight Club, and Taxi Driver and understood all of them. Because I finished high school. But yeah, now that I've proved my supreme media analysis skill fucking dominance over people who are 5 years younger than me, I can get back to what I was saying. This doesn't relate to like the Taxi Driver parallel at all, but the main character constantly spits out these like shitty one-liners, and I'm 100% sure they're meant to be funny. But I'm both foolish and naive, so I took it as the writers wanting to make the main character seem conceited, vain, and kind of dumb. And I like that. I think it demonizes his antisocial like ideals in a unique sort of way. Like, instead of there being any sort of infamy surrounding it, having your legacy as a mass shooter just being that you were legitimately stupid instead of any sort of political or ideological message would probably go a long way in real life, but we're gonna ignore that. But I mean, 100% giving the game too much credit here. This was almost not possible for them. Almost no chance the devs intended for that to be the case. I think they were just supposed to be funny and they missed the mark. You probably noticed from the start of the video, but the main menu kind of goes hard. And I would agree, I think it sets up a very cool atmosphere. It's probably closer in tone to a horror game than anything else. And don't worry, the subtlety of that is not lost on me. The splash screens in between levels are also in that sort of vibe. And likewise, I think they're very cool. The art, it's kind of awesome. And they're very effective what they're trying to get across. All of that is for naught. The actual instant microsecond you get into the game, the whole vibe is immediately shattered. And you're kind of just left there with the shitty audio mixing and corny voice lines. There's one for your mother! My shoulder. And speaking of voice lines, it's actually pretty cool that Raphael Demon Cousteau reprised his role for the second game. Usually I wouldn't mention this for a game, but the achievements in Postal are so fucking dated they become worth mentioning. Like every 10 minutes you get reminded of some shitty meme from 2013. Which I think the version that I'm playing was a compilation of the original game and 2 small level packs, which I didn't play. I only played the original game. That was released in 2015, so that probably makes it worse. But I can't think of anything more to say about the actual content of the game. So I guess I should talk about the ending, because I think this is what I saw, or what I based my opinion of the game on before I played it. I'll just play it now.
population pressure and
After Jeremiah Demon realizes that he's playing Skyrim, he then sent to an insane asylum or prison. I couldn't really tell from the ending. That wasn't all of it, by the way. It proceeds to waffle for the next 2 minutes, just showing jails and shit. But I'm not really sure what to say about that, honestly, because I'm not really sure what the point of it is. I may just be stupid, but I don't think I could track the metaphor, which is a bit underwhelming. It was a very abrupt ending, but definitely served its purpose of shocking me, I guess. I was not expecting that. But yeah, that's kind of all I have to say on the matter. This video took kind of way too long to fucking come out. I probably rewrote the script 5 times. Yeah.
I'm not making videos anymore. That's Adam.
Yay!